So we're doing a lot of stuff from guard passing, right? So a lot of the drills that we did before were coming into either the leg drag position, so we're coming from side to side, or we're trying to come down into a leg pin position, right? So now we're just gonna make it a little bit more live, right? So before we're talking about micro drilling, so we come in here, we go 1, 2, and then up to 5, and then we finish the pass, right? So we're learning how to break down the move, and then learn to micro drill certain areas of the pass, right? So here, we're focusing a lot on here, right? Today, we're gonna focus a lot on the entry, right? So a lot of times people come in, they forget about their range, right? People grabbing onto them, right? So when I come in, I wanna make sure that my hands come in. I wanna lower my level. I wanna get my hands kind of like the same level as his feet, right? I want to make connection to his feet first, right? So a lot of times people will come in and then they'll just aimlessly try to grab onto stuff, right? But the problem is if I just grab on, he can make grips back onto me, right? So that's not a good thing, right? So when I come in, I want to just make sure that I'm at the proper level. I want to enter, right? I want to just grab onto his feet first, right? So it's harder for him, right? And then so when I come in, I start coming into my C grips, and this is when I can start fighting, okay? So as we're drilling, we're going to come into that. But also another thing that we're working on is grabbing the grip, right? So if he comes in, he grabs the grip, right? So we gotta learn how to break these grips too, right? So if my base is far out, you don't gotta worry about it. But if he has a good guard, he starts coming into me, right? He grabs the grip. So we're gonna learn how to break this grip. We gotta pretend there's a ball behind his butt, and I just wanna kick his butt. And I'm gonna come into here. Now when we work the drill, I'm gonna come right into the drill, right? So come here, we're gonna work in, we're gonna come in, connect, come into our connection, right? We're gonna let him grab a grip. I'm gonna pass. I can start going straight to my pin right away, right? So I'm working my entry. He gets a grab. I'm countering, and then I can just continue to the outside pass, right? And this is when we're gonna get into the flow and finishing the pass. Okay? So one more time. We're gonna change our level. Our hands are gonna come kind of like feet line, right? Feet line, make connection. Come into the C grip, right? He starts grabbing. I'm gonna come across, kick that ball. Okay. And this is just gonna be the warm up that we're gonna do right now. So a lot of footwork, a lot of handwork, and just getting a nice flow from the outside. Okay, so we're gonna do that for about 1 minute, and then we'll switch top to bottom. Okay? So on 3, 1, 2, 3. Before we did a lot of outside passing, getting around kind of like the leg drag positions. Now we're kind of getting more into positions where we get like a leg stuck or something, right? So we worked a lot of times before. We learned how to pin the leg, staple, come to the outside, and try to do more toriendos. That's if you continue on the outside, right? Sometimes you go against a guy with a really good guard, so we can't escape a leg, right? So we end up kind of like almost like reverse to like he was, right? So today we're just gonna work on kind of solidifying it, right? So last time we talked about lowering our level and getting chest connection, right? So we came into leg drag position, C grips, and then he's framing on me. I want to come inside and then kind of like come in and break the bubble, right? So I want to get the pin, and then I can start getting my chest to his body, right? If I don't break this bubble, there's no way I'm getting my chest to his body. So I'm not solidifying the position, right? So as I come here, I want to just make sure I come here. I want to break his shield. I want to come inside. I want to get my chest to his body. I want to lower my level and get connection, right? This is when we can start applying pressure, like actual pressure, right? Here, it's not actual pressure, right? I need to break this off. Connection, and that's when I can get pressure and I can start advancing, okay? So here we're going to learn the same thing, except how to break the bubble from a different angle, right? So we kind of have like one leg trapped, right? So for now, what we're gonna learn is a nice flow is we're gonna come in here, we're just gonna have the regular grips, collar grip, pant grip, and all I wanna do is I'm gonna do kind of like a step around pass, right? They call it back step pass or far pass, okay? I'll go this way. So here, all I wanna do is I wanna kind of get connection, right? So he has a bubble here, right? So there's many ways to break it. I can use my hands to penetrate this bubble. In this case, I'm going to start using my head to penetrate the bubble, right? So I have my grip, I have here. What I want is I just want to kind of get connection in here. I just want to put my head in the space, right? So I'm penetrating this bubble, right? Once my head comes in here, I just want to walk my hips kind of like in a semicircle, right? I want to make sure my head stays on top of his torso, right? So here, head penetrates the bubble. I'm just going to come around. Right? I want to make sure my head stays over his body, because if he starts to come up, I can start having pressure back on him right away, right? So whenever, a lot of people, they'll flop or they'll come out and they don't have any connection, right? So let's just say he comes up here, I just flop from here, it becomes more of a scramble, right? It's very important that we penetrate the bubble, we make kind of like a connection, right? So I want to stay hovering over his head. That's where I can start coming through. Okay? So that's going to be the first kind of like connection pass, right? So we learn how to use our hands, now we're going to start using our head. Here, I'm going to try to weave, get my head in here, come across. Okay? And then if you want to finish, you can just come up into side control. Come up to side control as a solidifying position. Okay? So I'll be on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Or are you still doing the first one?
No, but still.
Doing the long step, right? Back step, right? Back step, right? Pass?
Back step.
Third. It's reverse LV over, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Stand up. Yep. This one. Go down, kind of like the knee press position. Yeah. So.
I saw a bunch of people practicing and I saw some connection, right? So I think getting into the position and solidifying the position is important before you start moving, right? So it's kind of like, we consider this position kind of like the milestone position, right? And I feel like a lot of people don't have a good understanding of how to solidify it here first, right? A lot of times people will come in, for example, and they'll sit, or they come in and they'll be too top heavy at one point, right? So learning where your base belongs, it should be over your weight, right? So less like hips high, head low. I want to be more hips low, head high, like this, right? So I'm able to face the person, right? So a lot of times people will get too excited. They'll come in, they're like, oh, I got a good position, and then they'll start coming down like this, right? But I need to make sure when I come down, I'm coming down with an intent, right? And my intent is I need to make that head connection, right? So when I come into here, I solidify the position, right? So this is the connection from the drill that we did during the warm-up, right? So I come in, I make my connection, I try to pin, right? Let's just say I try to pin, he makes a grip on my foot. I kick out, I come down, I make kind of like a pin, right? I can't get all the way around, but I land in kind of like this position, right? Where it's almost like a reverse De La Riva, right? So I need to know that before I start moving, I can't just do it from here, right? What I want to do is I want to come in and I want to kind of sit on his leg, right? I want to make sure I'm kind of like inside, starting to get inside the bubble, right? So right now you can see that my knees, they're kind of relatively the same height, right? So I'm over here, right? I need to grab my grip, and as I make the step, you'll see that one knee comes down, one knee comes up, right? So my weight goes from over one leg and then comes to the other. This is kind of where the base kind of is, right? So here, once I grab my grip, and then this is where I can connect, right? So if he has this frame, I can weave my head, get the head connection. You can see my base is already starting to move. My weight goes from here to here, right? So here, and then this is when I can start getting up, right? Getting on top. Okay, so learning how to lower my level. If I get caught, I lower my level, right? I get over him still, right? But my weight is on this leg. Now I gotta transition my weight to this leg to get this leg light, right? So here, I go heavy on this leg, heavy on this leg. Okay, so without Kevin, I enter, and I'm kind of like in this position, right? I can grab a calf grip with the collar grip. I'm gonna go here, I'm just doing this, okay? So here, I'm gonna make the connection on the floor. Okay, and make sure you stay belly down the whole time. Okay, so here, make the connection, weight on one leg, weight on the other, weight on the floor. Okay, questions? 12 on 3. 1, 2, 3. You can even practice without a partner for now if you want to get kind of like the mechanics. Drill it and then you'll know what I'm saying within your head.
Base is here, it's here, then it's here.
So, Danny, here. Come back into that position. We're just going to solidify here a little bit more. Okay? So, here is not a bad position, right? You can make it a little bit better. Right? So, what I want you to imagine is that you're coming off higher on top of them. So, how do I say this? Eventually, like you want a good side control, you want a good mount or something, right? That means your chest has to touch his chest, right? So that's your intent, right? So just remember this in the back of your head, right? As you're doing it, right? So back up a little bit. So you have this. So as you grab the grip, right? You have this intent coming at it, right? You feel that string, like you want that energy, what you're trying to connect to it, right? As you hold that, you have all your weight here. So feel this, all your weight here. Yeah, right. So you have this base. Okay. As you move this foot to here, now you can start transitioning weight to one side and getting your head down. And then all the so your foot is a little bit too close to him. You need to be a little bit further. Yes, yes, yes. And then flop to your other leg. Exactly. Yeah. Take it slow.
Put a little more effort. Still good.
Grab this.
Oh my weight here. Get too close.
What we're going to do is, we're just going to make one long drill, right? So for the very beginning, now we're going to try to make it longer, more complicated, okay? So on the bottom, and we're just connecting from the beginning to the end, and we're just going to be creative with it, right? So I come in, I'm going to lower my level, I'm going to try to pass my moves, right? I'm going to try to come to the outside, I can start coming into my leg drags, I can start connecting, right? Let's just say we come in this position. Let's just say I do fail one of these, but I get my leg loose, right? We also end up in a position kind of like this, right? In a leg drag position, right? So as long as I can start connecting this with my other drills, right? So if I get out and I can't escape my legs, this just represents what we've been doing over the past month, outside passing, right? So a lot of the moves that we come in here, we come switching into our C grips, whatever, we land into these. Now we can start connecting the outside passing with when we get inside, we come in, I can start threatening this, right? I can't break the bubble, I get out, but I can start coming up into my more leg drag positions, right? I can start doing my C grips, I still have this grip, I can start connecting to the hip, right? And then we start connecting those moves over and over again, right? So we're gonna make this kind of like a drill, it's gonna be a flow, outside passing, right? So we're getting to the outside, okay? Later on, we're going to start solidifying and coming to the inside afterwards, controlling more center. Okay? 12 on 3, 1, 2, 3.